How's it going, everybody? We're in here right now just getting some ribs ready to throw on the smoker here in a little while. These here are St. Louis style ribs. My local store hasn't had baby back ribs in quite some time now, and I don't want to do all the work on the spare ribs to cut them down into a St. Louis rib. And they have the back ribs, but the meaty back, I don't happen to prefer those myself, so I just went ahead and paid a little bit extra and got these all ready to go. Now it's just pretty simple. What we're doing here, just kind of rubbing on a little mustard glaze to give our seasonings something good to stick to. I got it a little thick this go around. Normally don't get it that thick, but that'll be alright. It don't need to be thick, it just needs to be a little something to stick to. I've already pulled the membrane off, and I've already wiped it down and washed the ribs off and everything, and now all we're doing is just seasoning it up and waiting on the smoker to warm up. I normally season them the night before, but it won't hurt to go ahead and season them in 45 minutes or so before you put them on. So we'll just get this rubbed in good here. And flip it over and do the same thing on the front. Try not to make it quite as thick on the front here. Like I said, it don't need much, it just needs a little something to stick. Alright, I think that's gonna work out good there. Well, I'll finish seasoning these up, and we'll get back to you out there on the smoker. Well, we're outside now. We got the smoker warmed up to about 210 degrees. This is the Oklahoma Joe, and I've done a few mods which I've told y'all about before, but my newest one is I put a little gasket right there, help keep some of the smoke in. You can see that. And other than that, everything's all good. Not very much leaks. Haven't had the smoker a year, but it's definitely had a lot of use to it. Now, like I said, it's about 210 degrees right now, and most people cook ribs for about 6 hours. Use the 3-2-1 method, which is 3 hours of smoke, 2 hours of full, and 1 hour without full. And what I'm going to do, more than likely, is try to keep them around 200 degrees, and I'll probably just smoke them for 4 hours and wrap them in full for 1 hour, and then leave them in full, or leave them without the full for another hour. The 4-1-1, as you might call it. But there we go right there. We got that rack on the grill, and we'll come back, see how it's doing in a little while. In case I forgot to mention, the woods I'll be using are oak and hickory. The oak wood, I like it because it burns good and burns long. And the hickory, I like that for a little bit of flavor. So, there you go. This message has not been brought to you by Bud Light, but it ain't gonna hurt for you to go out and buy some today. We're 2 hours in here, and we're gonna see how things are coming along. Oh yeah, looking real nice. Everything looks all good. I have this spray I like to spray on here. All it is Coke and apple juice and a little apple cider vinegar. And after about 2 hours, I spray it on there every hour. Get it on there real nice and good. It won't hurt it at all. There we go. We'll let that sit for about another hour. Well now, these ribs have been on there for 4 hours. And we're coming down to my favorite part here. I call the process, the tenderization process. Now, what you're gonna need is 2 big pieces of aluminum foil, and we have a pretty good sized rack of ribs here, so I actually may need to get another one. Now, here's a little secret. Some people may know, some people may not know, but I picked it up from a friend, and it works really well. I would advise anybody to try it out if you haven't tried it out before. What you're going to want to do is get you Parquet squeeze butter and get it on there real good. It won't hurt to get it on there kind of thick. So you do that. Then get you some brown sugar. And you put that brown sugar on there real good. And this is going to kind of course, it'll give your ribs a sweet taste, but that butter and that brown sugar together, it makes for a good little mix. Kind of spread it around just a little bit here. Now then, what you'll want to do is wrap this up as tight as you can. And like I said, we may have to get another piece of aluminum foil because this rack of ribs is pretty good size. I may not have pulled off big enough pieces here. But you'll want to get it as tight as you can, because what you're doing here with this is you're keeping the moisture inside the foil, and it's tenderizing those ribs and everything like that. And so everybody foils them that I know of, but not everybody puts the squeezed butter and brown sugar on there. And I'll tell you what, that squeezed butter and that brown sugar is definitely a key to making some real tender ribs. I forgot to show you, but so far where the bones are at, there's no meat peeling off the bones just yet. But by the time we unwrap these ribs here in another hour, you're going to see that meat peeling back real good. And that is how you know that the ribs are getting done and they're getting tender. And that meat starts peeling back. So we'll wrap these up tight as we can and put them back on there for another hour, and we'll get back to you. Has any questions or comments or concerns, or feel free to ask. Hit me up in the comment section if there's anything that maybe you want to see smoked that you haven't seen before, or you think might be good for me to try, or any tips you might have, or any tips you might want to know. Just hit me up and we'll see what we can get going. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The rack of ribs. We cooked them using the 4-1-1 method. Now, you can use that 3-2-1 all you want to, but we used a 4-1-1. That's how we do it around here. They look absolutely beautiful, I do say. Look at how that meat is peeling back on those ribs. I tell you what we're going to do here is we're gonna grab us a bone and see what the bone does. So here's us a bone right here. Let's see what it does. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Can you see that right there? Peeled right off. I'll tell you what. That right there is a rack of ribs. That is going to be a good dinner. I tell you what. Like I said, just give me a call in the comments if anything seems out of the ordinary, or if you want to know any tips or anything like that. But I'm going to get down to eating these things. Y'all have a good one.